How do you like the music? Hey, how's it going?
Good. Okay, how about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you great. How are
Awesome.
you?
How are you doing?
How was work? Did you just get back?
Oh, there you go. Okay, now I can hear you. Sorry. I was like having technical.
Hey, Lily, how was your day?
So far, so good. It's been busy. How about yours?
Oh, it's been pretty good. Still here. But
You're at office
yeah.
or space.
Yeah, that's why it's better for me to do it like a little bit earlier because I can still be here before I go home. It's a sweet space. Is that your real room?
hmm
It
Yeah.
looks almost I almost thought it was a background. It looks just like, you know?
Thank you. I've been working on it.
Yeah, picture perfect. I love the dinosaurs.
Thank
That's amazing.
you. Yeah,
Yeah, get them
it's hard
all.
to
Get them
remember
all.
that they were real at one point.
Indeed. So, yeah, I thought for today, I mean, I'm happy to help you with anything, but I thought for today, your goal is you want to learn how to make iOS apps, right?
Correct.
Cool. I've made a few in the past, a while ago. A lot has changed, but I thought for today we could just learn some Swift. Um, Tell me more about like your what your long term goal is with learning how to make apps.
Yeah, so I for full transparency, I've been working in like the startup space for a really long time now.
Cool,
Overall, app designer, been around for about 8 years.
awesome.
My first four in startup world, and then my uh, other four have been in like bigger tech. And so I'm trying to just like understand the holistic process of how things are developed and implemented, and trying to understand like what the limitations are.
Yeah,
The majority of my projects now require for me to be aware of like engineering restraints. And it's kind of hard to do without like working on something, right?
yeah, for sure. So you're more of a designer, and you want to just get more of like a technical grasp of how does that really work.
Yeah, I was working for a larger company, and they really wanted us to start learning Swift in particular, just because sometimes on those teams we didn't have a engineer available, and it would be easier if we could at least set something up. Obviously, like we're not engineers or anything, but at least have a something to present to stakeholders would have been great.
Oh, interesting. And did you use at that point were you using like Figma already to mock up prototypes?
hmm
But you wanted something a little bit more real?
Yeah, because sometimes with Figma, you're not able to share it, especially with like larger companies. They
Yeah.
sometimes have like you only have the desktop version. You don't have like for Sketch. um,
Uh-huh.
for Sketch, you have the version where it does not load to the cloud because of hacking issues, and so they wanted to make sure so you can't share your screen on your phone. Uh,
Oh. Oh, okay. So the idea was, oh, did you learn Sketch as well?
mhm.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, cool. That's basically so the idea was that so with the you would use like a simulator, the iOS simulator on the computer and then share that screen and then that would be a better demo.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I guess it looks a bit more real, but I guess the main advantage is that you can make real features rather than
Yeah.
Figma, right? Have you seen Flutterflow?
Mm-mm. There's a lot of products that we were not able to use just and like I can tell you like offline
Mm.
like what the company was and why we had to learn Swift, but
Okay.
just it's just because they didn't have the licensing agreements, and they didn't want any of their proprietary products being viewed on other platforms,
Mm.
and so they needed to use apps or software that they could have access to.
Okay, so it sounds like for the company you're working for, they weren't really happy about doing stuff on the cloud in general.
Yeah, oh
Rather
for
than
sure.
develop. rather just develop the app. That's super interesting. Cool. Well, I mean, Swift is great to learn. Um, it's very much like you're very much going to be locked into the Apple ecosystem once you learn it, but that's okay. We can do
Yeah.
that. Cool. What's your programming experience like? You said you started with Scratch, right?
Yeah, so I went to school and I have a soft understanding of like HTML, CSS, a little bit of
Cool.
JavaScript. It's been a while, but overall, like I understand it a little bit. I just haven't had much experience with it again, like to have to use it.
Yeah. Um, that's cool. Yeah. Swift is a bit like JavaScript. Like it looks a bit like JavaScript. Um, I don't know. Let's just do it and see how
I
see,
guess.
see how you like it. Yeah. I looked a bit at the Swift playgrounds before. They're really cool. They're really cool looking. So yeah, I have it open on. I'll have it open on my computer, and then you can also open it on yours, and then share your screen, and then I'll sort of try and follow along, so we're at the same place.
Awesome.
Here, I'll show you what I have on mine. This is what I. This is sort of what I have here in the Swift playgrounds. It's pretty. Um, they've made it really nice and friendly. I really like that.
Yeah.
Oh wow, cool. So do you have it open?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I didn't have time to look at every single one of these, but it looks like there's like a few different exercises, and some of them are actually going to be like way too easy, and then some
Okay.
of them are going to be hard. So it's just like, and it's a shame they didn't really like organize it that way, or they didn't make it super clear what's easy and what's hard. Let me just delete these that I was playing with earlier. So basically, if you start with like the very early learn to code, like it's gonna just be like, this is what a variable is. Um, this is what code is. So actually, I think a good place to start might be might be get started with or keep going with apps.
Okay.
Maybe this rock paper scissors one. I'm just gonna download a few. Let's see. Let me share. Um, let me share my screen. Mhm. Wow, the state property to update to add an else statement. Okay, cool. I feel like this keep going with apps one could be very interesting for both of us, actually.
Cool.
Um, I close this. Yeah. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Want to share your screen as well?
Yeah. Let's see. Okay.
Cool.
Let's see. Oop, that's not sharing. Let's see. Where is this? Entire screen. Here. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, here it is. Cool. Okay. Yeah, maybe you can just share that window because this is going to be quite quite a lot.
Okay. Let's see if it'll show screen, share window. Boom.
So I gotta say, just getting back into Swift as I
Mhm.
am, like this is definitely a couple notches, maybe like a notch or two more difficult than learning JavaScript. I feel like because what I'm looking at here is like um, there's just a lot more extra stuff. So like we have this stuff like struct, at the beginning, and then view, and then you have this at state part, um, and then some. So like this is definitely going to be a lot to take in. Maybe this is I haven't really done these exercises, but I thought maybe it would be fun because they sort of do step by step. Um, so like here on the right side, they just giving a little example about like explanation of what state is, um, and yeah, they're just sort of talking about how like you're supposed to um, you can store stuff in a variable and then you can automatically connect that variable to some UI component. So
Nice.
so if that variable changes, then um, then it will automatically update the view. So for example, like I could just have like a variable like checked, and then that will automatically connect to if a checkbox is checked. But I could also connect it to like an image, and then I could have the image change to like either a giraffe or a cheetah based on whether the checkbox is checked. And so it's all about like those connections. Yeah. Wow. This is going to be a lot to learn. But I think it will be also more fun once you start getting into the actually making your own app as well.
Yeah.
What kind of thing would you like to make for your first project?
I was thinking of the, so I have two ideas. I have the calendar idea, or I have also, if it's easier, a cooking video app.
Cool. Cool. And what are they? Tell me about them.
Yeah, so for like the cooking video app, it's just based off the notion that most people, when they are cooking, they end up just looking at videos either way, versus like buying textbooks. And sometimes you just need the recipe side by side just to see it, but you really just want someone to walk you through it.
Yeah.
So it's just literally just like a platform to have videos on it.
Okay, cool. So it's sort of like a YouTube for cooking videos.
Yeah, think of more of like TikTok for cooking.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, that would be fun and probably pretty doable to find example code for. And then I'm a big fan of like learning by finding examples.
Mhm.
Um, some people learn better from scratch, but I just like to
Same.
find.
Yeah, why
um,
reinvent?
yeah. And then what's the other one?
The other one was a calendar app, and that's just like prioritization on scheduling items. So think of like your reminders. Reminders have features that sometimes you wish you had a calendar and a reminder all in one, but each one doesn't have the feature. So sometimes you need notes, sometimes you need to add people to something, and then you just need like an overview of like all your reminders, basically. So it's like a
Mm,
hybrid.
an overview of all your reminders. And does it like connect to the phone's calendar? Or is it like separate?
In essence, it would be its own
Uh,
management system.
okay, so it's like a calendar view, and then
So think of like your calendars app on your iPhone.
uh-huh.
I mean, via the what is this? The reminders on your iPhone.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't actually use that.
okay, so it looks something. Let's see, like
Yeah,
this, like
yeah,
just
yeah,
a
yeah.
list. And all you can do is just add a title, a description, and a date. But if you wanted to see, like,
Mhm.
oh, what about here in September, October, November, you can't do that. Like, you can only see a list of all the dates.
Okay,
And
so
you
it's really
can't
like
add people. Like, let's say I'm like, oh, my best friend and I have a reminder to do this, or a partner and I would like to schedule this appointment here in whatever date.
yeah,
It doesn't have those functionalities. And you could essentially do it through your calendar, but the calendar doesn't have like a to do, like where you're done to do things, or it doesn't have like remind me when I'm at TJ Maxx to do
yeah.
this, Target.
Cool. So is there like a social aspect? Like, I mean, does it
Hmm.
email that, for example?
Pardon?
Would it email your friend when you add them on an item? Or
Yeah, it should like have an invite link either through SMS or yeah.
yeah, that's cool. I feel like both of those are doable. Both of those require some kind of backend as well, in addition to the mobile app, which I feel like is a bit of the challenge because you have to then switch between doing like Swift and then something else.
Hmm.
So yeah, that would be probably the main challenges because then you have to choose another programming language. But the good thing is there are a lot of low code tools you can use today to make a backend. Um, so like Xano, Firebase, that are pretty fast to set up. So yeah, I think they seem roughly comparable. So yeah, we could probably choose one of those to sort of work on bit by bit. Cool. Um, so yeah, um, here in the, I'll show you here. That's what I have on my screen. So if you click like, did you get to here where it says like add an? If you click like the next sort of um, to the next step. So if you click on that first step where it says like, so in there's like this list and then there's a green item. So like that list below the opening paragraph is like the list of things that we have to do to make this app. Yeah, exactly. So now we're at like the first step, and here it says, take a moment to reflect on how tapping the button updates the view. Okay, let's take a moment. Okay, I think I've reflected on it. So when we tap the button, oh, this is cool. When you tap the button, you change the state of is on. SwiftUI observes this change and updates the view using the new value. In your new view body, okay, so we are creating a view called body, which I guess is this. Use an if statement to display the view if is on is true and to hide it if false. Okay, we're just going completely in the deep end with Swift right now. But I hope you find it fun. So basically, the way this playground thing is working is there's a whole bunch of stuff on the left side which we don't need to look at right now. There's one code file which is sort of the assignment that we need to change. And then here's like the live view. And I wonder if there's a way to like, I think if I do stop and then start, no, that's not what I was looking for. Oh, I was able to get it to reset somehow. So like when the app, so this is our app and it has a button.
Mhm.
And when I click it, um, it shows a yellow circle. And I'm pretty sure that, oh, and if I click it again, it goes away.
Yeah.
And so I think what they want us, do you know what they want us to do? I think they want us to add an else statement that shows a different color circle. Okay. Cool. And I don't think we should click. Okay. Do you have any idea how to start something like this? It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it just says if you change the state, if is on, so observes, okay, if the, you use an if statement to display the view if is on is true and hide it if it is false, okay. Instead of showing no views when on, so we can do custom view. Okay, circle after the if statement, add an else statement showing a circle of a different color. After the if statement, so after the if statement here,
Mm-hmm.
then add an else. So we need to add else. So if it's not on else button, a different color. Okay.
Yeah.
Add an else statement, then it shows you the syntax.
Oh, and they even have a little solution. That's
There
cheating, eh?
got it.
So, but I think this is fine because it's now we know like how this process works.
Yeah.
So, can you just explain to me what changed in the code?
Yeah, so they added syntax right below the if statement of is on
Yeah.
to reflect that if it's not on, basically, or else, like if, so basically like show visible the circle of a different color, and once it's clicked on, then it translates into yellow. Because before it was like you just didn't have that state.
Yeah.
And then when you press it, now it's on and off.
Right. What about this VStack thing?
No idea what that is.
Yeah. So this is a new syntax for me, like someone who hasn't used Swift much before. It looks like a VStack is basically like a list of elements. So like,
It's like a div.
yeah, yeah, it's a lot like a div. Um, and it's a lot like a div where everything is oriented vertically, and then maybe if I would do HStack, then this stuff will be horizontally. And maybe if I put more things into this div, then they'll just be oriented like that. It'll just add more. So exactly, cool. And I'm pretty sure that's it for this assignment, because that's pretty
Yeah.
much. They're very short. Oh wait, no, there's more. So if we click on this books button, here now I have the complete one, like you, and then we get to next task. Cool. So we want to add detail. Finally make each view a different shape. Okay, rectangle. Okay. So how do we have two views? Is on.
Oh, okay.
So do you get where it wants us to add the text?
Yeah, it's like in the if statement.
Mm.
So in that syntax, because we're still
Oh,
circle, it says like add the text below. Okay, using text to view the label. So for example, once it's clicked on, like if this is on, make the circle the yellow and like turn the circle on, the color on, and then also add the text. So then when you press on, then it's like,
okay, cool. Yeah, exactly. And those all just get sort of inserted in the stack.
so it's like anything that we do that's related to the circle, add in this bracket and this like syntax. And then anything that we don't want to happen, like when it's off, then we can put it in here. And this is just like the overall stack.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anything that we don't want to happen. Right. So the if and else is the conditional stuff, and then outside of that is just the stuff that's always there.
Yeah, it's
That's what
like
you were
a,
saying.
yeah, like this is a container, like a V
Yeah.
stack is a container for this vertical stack. And then these are the conditionals or if then
Yeah.
statements and whatever is in there. And then the view is like the whole view is what I'm understanding. Like the
Yeah.
body.
Yeah. And sort of what SwiftUI does that Swift doesn't do is like this automatic refresh. Um, so like what you don't have to do with SwiftUI, like if you're using plain JavaScript or plain whatever, then you'd have to, every time the button is clicked, like you'd have to do some logic. But here you see at the top on like line 4, it just says like there's this state variable. And every time that gets changed, it just like automatically refreshes this somehow.
Hmm.
Yep. It's just part of the magic of it. Um, cool. So what do we
Okay,
have to do now?
so we click on, and then they want second add a label, second view as off. But that's what I don't understand if it's going to be like text off in there or an else, because it would make sense if it was an else, like if it's not on, then make it off.
That would make sense to me.
Yeah, right. Capital T. Maybe. There you go. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
There you go. Next. And finally, make each view a different shape, such as a rectangle or a capsule. And when they mean by view, so each view, so I'm guessing else and if are two different views. So then we would make this like rectangle. And then on. Gotcha. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I did the same thing. Okay. Well, that's neat. Cool.
Awesome.
So, okay. Okay, now they're taking it up a level.
Now try adding a completely new conditional view by yourself. Add a state property outside of the body. So outside of the body. Okay. Oh, outside. Okay. Maybe here, add a state property so I'm giving initial Boolean value. If statement that shows one view if the value of your state property is true, with another view if it's false. So basically replicating this below under it, but this time with state properties versus views.
Yeah, actually, it's all using views and state properties. What you see on line 4, that's a state property.
Oh, okay, like the at state.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
So I guess I'm kind of curious. Like in line 4, so if we're creating a new, like outside of the body, since we already have a state within this view, would we
Mhm.
have to create like outside, like would the body be outside of the body be outside of the syntax, or would it be
Right. So a view could have multiple states.
okay?
So I'm trying to think of an example, but yeah, like a web, maybe like a view might have, let's say, yeah. But so for example, if you had like multiple buttons inside of a view, you could have a state for each one of those buttons if it's on or off. You could also have a state for every text field or anything that's in there. So yeah, we can add more. So this view is called conditional views, the parent view, and then that has one state right now, but we could add more.
Okay. So then we could, like on line 25, we could add the at state. Like, what is that? What is that asking for us to do? So at
Yeah,
state.
that's what it's asking for
Yeah,
exactly.
outside the body. Equals.
Okay. Now you have one small error.
Okay.
See if you can see what it says. You see that error in red?
Yeah, is on.
Yeah. So you're like going in completely the right direction.
Okay.
Um, it says, oh yeah, actually I think you know what.
Like my. Is it because we already have one is on?
Exactly. Yeah, I already see you're about to. I think you knew the answer, but you were just second guessing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, so am I supposed to do a is off or?
Oh, so you basically they want you to have like just the same thing again. So for me, it would probably be is on and is on two, for example.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So it just can't have the same like naming convention is what it.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Because otherwise it won't be able to connect it to the right
Right.
button.
Unexpected pattern. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then we do the same thing of, yeah, the var. We have to create a body for it. Feel. Okay, and then invalid declaration, return accessory or some view.
Hmm.
What does that mean? Oh, do I?
So I
You like
think
things? You too? No.
no. So I think that each view can only have one body. Um, so we have this view called conditional view,
Hmm.
and it has this one body. However, we can add more things into the existing body, but we cannot create a new, like a second body.
Gotcha. So would it be better then to just like, I guess that's what I was wondering. Would it be better then to remove like the whole state and add it within like this body?
Yeah, so you still need the state, like you still need the second state, but then you also need to add more something inside of the body.
Okay. Like,
Sure. So now you're in like now you've created like the second body, but I think what it wants you to do is to add more stuff inside of the first body, inside of the existing body. If that makes any sense.
No.
Okay. So what I would do is just delete delete the everything from 27 to 31. Yeah. And then from so my numbers are a bit small for me here. From a bit, is it possible to make this window a bit shorter? Would that make, oh yeah, that helps too. That helps a lot. So actually the line numbers stayed the same size, but I can see um, here that, yeah, that
Does
does
that work?
help. That helps. So what I would probably do is I would move, now this is just good practice. I would probably move what's on line 25 up to the top of the view. Um, so I would
Right.
move that to line 5. Like what's,
Oh,
yeah, that's just convention. So just put all the state variables first. So we have this thing called conditional view, and it has like 2 variables. And then I would copy the whole, I would copy everything actually from line 9 to line, how far do we go? Maybe 23? Yeah. Is that working?
let's see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that work? And I would actually paste it directly below line 23. So, uh, oops, below, yeah, there. Okay. And so this is almost what we want, because you'll notice that it works if we click the press me now on the right side. But what they want is 2 separate ones.
Hmm.
Yeah. And so why are they all synchronized right now?
Because they're in the VStack.
No, that's fine. You can have all different stuff in the VStack, but
Because they're
it's,
on. If it's on.
yeah, because they're all using the same state variable.
Okay. So we change it. So we change it to flip, and that's what they were saying. One view is true and the other is false. So
Hmm.
so this one should be off. Is that what we're saying?
Oh, it should be the state variable that we created. So that would be is on 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I
then
see. So we can see the different states.
exactly. And
Okay.
then if we scroll down a bit, you'll have it again for the button here on 38. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, now let's test it. Okay.
Yeah. Another individual.
So, can you does it kind of make sense what we just did? Can you sort of explain to me how this code is working?
Yeah. So is on is directly correlated to this. So whatever the state is, it's like its own dependent component. And then
Hmm.
these are like the operations to manage that component. And so
Hmm.
because we have a different naming convention and we've separated by state, this is operating on different angles. So if we were able to adjust anything within this body, it would be reflecting on just this guy here versus the other.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that's it. So you can have as many state variables you want. Here we have 2 and we have 2 buttons. Um, yeah, it's getting to be kind of a fun app.
Yeah, and then for the VStack, so it can still coexist inside the VStack. Does this at any time, like, do we have like separate stacks or?
Oh yeah, so let me show you what a V stack. I mean, it's exactly what you said. I mean, I love that you compared it to a div,
Mhm.
because that's really exactly what it is like. So just like in HTML, you can have multiple multiple divs inside of each other. And let me see if I can find like a good, yeah. Like a good example. Oh yeah, I think I found some here. Yeah. Oh wow, this is quite an example. So I'm not even sure that this is for, I'll show you this example. I'm not even sure that this is for Swift. But basically,
Oh,
yeah. So like basically anything you have with the VStack, it just stacks stuff vertically. And then anything you have with a H stack, it just puts it horizontally. So it's just a tool for laying things out
gotcha.
in 2 dimensions. And then you can put them inside of each other to get more complex. It's pretty much a way for making a big grid table thing that you can put components in. Cool. Yeah.
Okay, so then it says create a new button and toggle your state property whenever you press it. Create a new button.
What was that?
Oh, that's my dog. Dog.
I was like, we didn't program that in.
All right, this is him here.
Hey, what's his name or her name?
Neo?
Sorry?
Neo, like the Matrix?
Oh, Neo.
Neo, yeah.
Cool.
There's this one, and then we have this kiddo here.
Oh, what's this one's name?
Fluffs.
Fluffs and Neo?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Cool.
it would make more sense if he wasn't shaved right now, but he's super fluffy.
Beautiful dogs.
Thank you. Okay, so the button, I think we already have that button. It's the one that says like press me.
Mm-hmm.
Create a new button and toggle your state property whenever you press it.
Yeah.
Does your condition view work as expected? Yes. I mean, we should say like button, maybe we rename it.
Mm-hmm.
Just
That's kind of weird what just happened.
right.
Maybe if you actually, this thing is kind of buggy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just change it again and see if. Okay, maybe it's fixed now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fixed.
Nice, cool. Yeah. So I guess there's like one other thing that is, I think, kind of helpful. So another way to think about it is like the syntax highlighting of the code itself. So like, yeah, what do you notice about like the different colors that it automatically puts in the code?
This is pink. Like they're both pink.
Oh yeah, those are pink.
Oh, the
And then,
syntax colors you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really pay much attention to them. I see that there's like, depending on the hierarchy, or they probably have different states, but I'm not sure why they have different. I also noticed that this is like a different turquoise from this one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good astute observation there. So it looks to me like the different shades of turquoises are kind of like names for things, right? So like actually conditional views is an arbitrary name. They just decided, oh, I want to call this, and same with is on and is on too. We could name it whatever we want. We could name them Neo and Fluffs if we wanted to. So that's sort of, and then so those are like names.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think what is also kind of useful is that like this kind of light purple, like circle text, rectangle text those are like classes, or they're just like types of views. So that can also just be like helpful to notice when you're starting out, like, oh, like what color is this? What does that mean? And the numbers are all yellow, and et cetera, et cetera. And the strings are all red.
Mm. Oh yeah, they are strings. Interesting.
Yeah. That's very helpful for me sometimes to remember what the
Hmm.
different colors.
Makes it easier to like at a glance just see what things are. It's like, oh, things of similar color are connected or related.
Yeah, and sometimes if you make like a mistake in the syntax, you'll notice like things, like it becomes the wrong color or becomes gray, and it's like, oh, that's a big hint as well.
Mm.
Because there's a lot of like tiny things in syntax, like semicolons and dots and things.
Right. Let's see. Before moving on, try using the rubber duck method. Explain how conditional view code works in such detail. In as much detail as possible. Let's see. Date.
And we passed this already.
Okay. Cool.
Wahoo!
Cool.
This is a fundamental principle of coding apps in SwiftUI. And they talk about single source of truth. That just means those state variables that we defined, those are the single source of truth.
Yo, is it yours?
Hey,
Sorry.
buddy.
Shit, sorry.
Oh, hey, this is Ronak. Welcome to the stream,
I
buddy.
wasn't paying attention.
um, he
Disappeared.
actually has his own YouTube channel as well,
Oh, cool.
but different topics. All about his channel is all about Vision Pro.
Nice. Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
But he doesn't code yet, so I'm gonna get him on. I'm gonna get him on here to
Yeah,
teach some coding next week.
that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it's been really fun so far. Yeah, so just saying like the single source of truth. That's just the way that they talk about state. So like, basically the two variables that we defined at the top, those are everything syncs to those. That's what it's trying to say. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so that's that one. And oh, there's a few more, so I guess we could keep going a little bit, a bit more time. I mean, there's a couple more tasks on the task list on the right side. Yeah.
4%.
Well, only 4%. Just the base. I think we're gonna get through like a little bit of this, but probably what's more fun is to just start building.
Hmm.
I would say this has been, I don't know, do you enjoy this?
Yeah, this is fine.
I think this is fun. It feels sort of like classroomy, but it's very fun. And then I feel like what's also fun is just to like, next time if you have Xcode set up, to just make a new project, go to ChatGPT, throw some stuff together and see if it works. And then when we find ourselves lost, come back here.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds like fun. I can set that up, and then we can get started with that.
Cool, awesome. So, yeah, great. Should we just call it at that for today then?
Yeah, let's do that. Thank you so much for doing this, and also for pinging me. I know I've been super busy, but I really appreciate you being on it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm doing this every day now. It's like, it's really fun. People like figuring out what the best time of day is to do it, but people are chiming in and sometimes they're commenting in, giving tips and stuff. So it's been pretty fun. And I think it's really useful to help, like, just like create like a little learning environment where different people can join in. Inclusive.
Yeah, and I'd love to learn like what your I guess like long-term vision is for this platform. I think it's really amazing and something that's very much needed. But I definitely love to learn more about that as well.
Sure. I mean, Right now, I'm just figuring it out as I go. I started out making tutorials originally, of stuff that I was getting stuck on, and actually, like, I was using those tutorials myself because I was like, it was like stuff I would forget how to do, and then I'd go back. So I was like, I should make a video about this. And then later on, I started doing more like, I was like, this is fun, but it'll be way more fun if I can do them with other people and we're learning stuff together. So I started doing that. And after I started doing that, I thought, well, why don't, now I have to go edit everything afterwards. Why don't I just do this live?
Yeah.
And so we've been doing that for about a week, and that's been the most fun. And yeah, that's been like the best thing yet. So I'm thinking of what's next, but I think for now it's going to be a lot of this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a great mission, like how to make learning not suck.
exactly.
And network along the way.
That's it. And I think it has a lot to do with just working on the projects that you want to work on, just to learn the stuff that you need to learn along the way. And to have someone there that can just sort of be there when you need a little bit of extra help, I think is the best, is the best thing.
Yeah, and I think it definitely is like taking the industry into a different direction as well, because mentorship is something that when I first started, it just didn't really exist. Like to find a
Mm,
mentor is like you had to find a person who one wanted to share trade secrets, and then the other thing is uh,
yeah.
at the time. So I think this is amazing that you're doing it virtually and sharing that with the world, and just like, hey, I am this person who's open, and because people are sometimes afraid of asking for that same reason, or cold leads sometimes don't lead into much. So this is amazing.
Cool. Yeah. It's been awesome. I mean, I feel like I've already met a lot of awesome people, and people have been way more willing to just be like open and vulnerable than I expected. And I also feel like, um, yeah, I also feel like more than I expected, I've been pretty much willing to do stuff that I don't exactly like. I'm not exactly an expert on. Like, I'm not an expert on Swift, but
Yeah.
it's actually more fun for me that way. So
Yeah.
it feels like
Awesome.
we're learning together. Cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, just stay in touch and let me know when you want to do some more.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great one, James.
Sure, you too. Bye.
Bye.